And joining me live from the WION Newsroom is Adhya Juneja, who will break down the big business stories shaping your money and the economy. We're also joined by Vidur Kathuria, who will take us through all the action from the world of sports. We begin first up with Adhya for all the business updates.
Thank you so much, Samiksha. From Asian stocks sliding as tech shares come under the pressure to UK inflation accelerating on higher energy costs. Well, here are the key global business stories shaping markets today. Starting with Asian stocks now. Well, the Asian stocks slid sharply on Wednesday, tracking losses on Wall Street, with technology shares bearing the brunt of the sell-off. Now, South Korea's Kospi plunged 5.8%, while Japan's Nikkei dropped more than 3%. Chip makers SK Hynix and Samsung also suffered steep losses, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng was largely flat. Now, rising bond yields, higher oil prices as well as persistent inflation are raising concerns about borrowing costs for AI as well as technology companies. Well, next up, Indian steelmakers are facing a margin squeeze as global coking coal prices rise due to supply disruptions and West Asia conflict. Now, premium hard coking coal prices have jumped 25% from last year to an average of $236 per ton in the first 7 months of 2026. Now, India imports about 95% of its coking coal needs, with Australia supplying at least half of those imports. Higher coal, freight and insurance costs are also putting further pressure on steel makers' margins, while cheaper Chinese steel limits their ability to raise prices. And finally, Britain's annual inflation rate rose to 2.9% in the month of July, up from 2.6% in the month of June. Now, this increase is driven largely by a 13% rise in household energy bills as higher oil prices from West Asia conflict continues to feed into the economy. Inflation remains above the Bank of England's 2% target, and analysts warn that energy costs could keep pressures elevated through the rest of the year. Well, that is it in business. Now, for all the sports updates, it's over to you, Vidur.
Well, thank you so much, Adhya. First up, in the world of sport, India have won the gold test. India completed a 165-run victory in the first test to take the lead in the two-match series. Both Sri Lanka were bowled out for 206 in the second innings while chasing a target of 372. Spinner Manav Suthar starred for India with 6 wickets in the second innings, taking his tally to 10 for the test match. Devdutt Padikkal starred with the bat, scoring more than 200 runs in the 2 innings. The second test begins on August 23rd in Colombo. Moving on, in football, Bayern Munich star Jamal Musiala says he's being treated for a neurological dysfunction after collapsing during a match for the second time in a 4-day period. On Tuesday, Musiala once again collapsed on the football pitch as he was playing a friendly for Bayern Munich against Heidenheim. This is the second time Musiala has collapsed on the football pitch, and he now says he's undergoing treatment for a neurological condition. Earlier, he had collapsed against RB Leipzig. And finally, Jose Mourinho has been officially unveiled as head coach of Real Madrid. But in an unusual twist, the presentation was held behind closed doors with no media or fans allowed inside. The ceremony took place at the club's headquarters in Madrid, with President Florentino Perez welcoming the coach in private. The only images came from Real Madrid's own TV channel and social media accounts. Mourinho signed a 3-year deal until June 2029, marking his return to the Bernabeu 13 years after his first stint ended in 2013. Well, that's it in the world of sport for now. It's back to you, Samiksha.
Thank you for that, Adhya and Vidur. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of our broadcast. News and updates to continue. You're watching WION World is One. Stay tuned.